Hi guys, Lindsay
And Tracy.
here with Storybrooke Family Farm. So this week we actually hit a big milestone of how long we've been here for. It's actually officially become 4 months that we've owned this property, and like if you've been following along on our journey, you know that we've done a massive, massive amount of stuff. It kind of actually makes us feel bad though because between like month 3 and month 4, we have not gotten much accomplished here. Um,
We got the kitchen painted pretty much.
yeah, yeah, I got that
And
done.
more stuff unpacked.
Yeah, and we got more stuff unpacked, but that was all in just one weekend that you and I did that. It was our 1 day off. We did expand the uh, waterfowls area, so now they have like 3 different little pasture areas that we can rotationally graze them on. And I did get a rabbit tractor built, and we're working on building quail cages. We got them; those will be finished today.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cut up some firewood today, just because we have a lot of down stuff in the woods. So I'm gonna work on cutting that up. But the markets have been going really well. But it's just, we're doing 3 markets every week, and then occasionally on Sundays there's another market that we do. Um, and honestly, doing those 3 markets every week, it is so draining energetically. It's kind of like going to your county fair 3 days in a row and having to interact with just so many people and stuff. And then there's also, the work involved of making all of the bread, making the dog treats, and trying so hard to keep up with the garden. Like, it's really hard to know what to prioritize and stuff because, like, there's so much work that needs to be done at the house that we're just like, oh my God, it's a never ending list of stuff to get done. Um, for those of you wondering, we did find somebody to do our roof. It's not done yet, but they are going to take this chimney here down all of the way to the ground, and then there is another chimney up there that's going to be taken down below the roof line so they can just run roof right over top of it. The chimney in the center, it's a non-functional chimney, and the one that's on the side here, it is in such bad shape that you could never hook a wood burner up to it. There was a chimney fire at some point in the house before we ever got it, and it really destroyed the chimney. There's like cracks like that big throughout the chimney, like going up towards the top of it. So it's really in dangerous shape, um, and it's just not worth saving. But so that's gonna be what, 3 weeks,
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks from now that we're gonna get started on the roof, and they are replacing that porch roof there for us. So that's really super awesome that we don't have to also add on to our long list of things that we have to accomplish of having to do the porch roof. We probably in the next couple weeks we'll have to figure out something for butchering rabbits because how we always do it. Here, you hold the camera for a little bit.
All right.
My arms are tired. You just hold it out further, like that, so it like kills your shoulder muscle. So how we normally, yeah. So how we normally butcher the rabbits is we have them hanging up, like we do it like inside of a garage or a barn or something, and there's ropes that we hang from the rafters so that way the rabbit is at like head level for me, and they're just hanging there after they've already been dispatched. So then I can just work about at arm's length and at head level and stuff to process them. Since we have been here, we haven't butchered any rabbits or anything of the sort yet. There has been a couple of roosters that Tracy's done, and yesterday there was 6 quail that got butchered. We were outside.
Friday night.
Yeah, that was Friday night. My days are so. That's the thing with doing all the markets. Like, your days get so jacked up that like you don't even know like when you're coming or going and stuff. Like, different people have asked us like, well, when are you gonna be free to do something fun?
November.
Yeah, that's our constant thing is November, because the markets run until October and stuff, like mid-October. So it's November is when we get to relax a little bit and sleep in and take a nap without our jerk of a dog barking at every single thing that they see. But yeah, so Friday night we were outside. Willie was at the county fair and stuff watching the tractor pulls, and we were outside taking care of the animals. And when we come back inside, while we were outside, we heard the dogs barking a whole bunch, which is not unusual. We have 4 dogs, so they bark and stuff, but it was unusual to the extent that they were barking. So when we came back inside, a quail like flew up at me and like hit me in the legs and stuff. And I was like, what the heck? Like, oh, that's why the dogs were barking. and stuff. Like the quail have somehow, the ducks did this too, and we had little ducklings inside of the cage inside the house that we had hatched out with our incubator. They figured out how to open the cage. Well, the quail this week have figured that out too, and there was 11 quail that had escaped while we were outside, and we were only outside for probably what, half an hour, something like
Probably.
that. And they escaped, and there was 6 of them that were dead. Willie's dog, he is a big dog. He's an old dog. He was rescued, and he didn't live with us prior to living here. He was at Willie's dad's house when he lived with his dad, and then the dog moved to Tracy's mom's house, and then when we moved from Tracy's mom's house to here, we brought the dog with us because Willie wanted the dog brought with us. So he's not familiar with farm life at all. He's an old dog. You can't teach him anything new. He's not the brightest at all and stuff. But so, yeah, he killed 6 quail. We know for sure it was him because he drug 4 of them into his cage. And he is a very slobbery dog, and all of the quail were completely covered in slobber. So there was 5 that were not killed by the dog. They were very scared and they were hiding. So we had to search around the house to find the other quail that were missing. But yeah, so then that made it so Tracy had to stop what she was doing to then work on butchering quail. The quail are not going to be for our own consumption because of, how they died. So they will go for the next batch of dog food whenever we make that. Yeah, the garden's doing well. Well, most of it. It's really probably just gave everybody motion sickness how fast you twirled that thing. Jesus.
Oopsie.
So everything that's on this side of the garden, it's not like, as you can see on camera, there's not anything really tall. So we have like kale and pole beans planted along the fence line there. The pole beans are just starting to like reach up and grab the fence. And then in this row here, which you can't see on camera, I'm sure, there's turnips. And then in this row here, there is some okra. So everything on this side of the garden is not doing very well. But if I just simply turn around and show this side of the garden, we have, tomatoes coming up, peppers up, more tomatoes and stuff. Everything is, a couple feet tall. My back is kind of bothering me today. So everything in the garden is doing well on that side. On this side, not so much. So this evening, I'm probably going to spread more rabbit manure and give a good healthy watering, just to try to really, really boost the garden over there. On the side that's doing well, the tomato side, when I first tilled the garden, I had immediately thought that's where the tomatoes should go because, the ground was super duper wet over there, even though it had been weeks since we had received any rain whenever I first tilled the garden. And I thought, this would probably be a really good spot for the tomatoes because I know that tomatoes, they like to have wet feet, which just means they like their roots to be wet all the time. And so far that decision has really paid off. So we have a gazillion green tomatoes, green slicing tomatoes that, once they start ripening, then we're going to be even more tapped out energetically because we'll have, a million tomatoes to take care of. And, we do plan on selling some of them, but, the majority of them are actually for our own consumption. Last year when we were living at your mom's house, we didn't have we had a couple cherry tomatoes to eat and that was it. And we planted a lot of stuff and everything blew up in our faces. It was really, really devastating. So this year we knew that we were really low in the pantry on tomato products. So that's why we planted so many tomatoes for ourselves. And we had determined that if we had excess, we would sell it at the market. Well, then pretty much everybody that we knew that has ever touched tomatoes has decided that they wanted to give us more tomato plants. So we went from having 80 something of our own to over 150 tomato plants. So it's kind of insane. So we definitely have enough tomatoes that we're going to be able to sell stuff. The hot peppers are really coming in already. So I have, a small basket of hot peppers that I need to process today. I'm probably going to, because there's a few cherry tomatoes and other things that we have. So I'm probably going to make a chutney with them because I do enjoy chutneys. Those of you that don't know, a chutney is basically like a savory, spicy, sweet jam type of thing. So it's kind of just like a hodgepodge of different flavors and stuff, but I really like them. I like the marrying of hot and spicy with sweet and stuff, so that's just kind of my thing. But so our echinacea, we're sitting right by it, so I gotta show you guys this echinacea plant here. It actually was moved
There's a
with
bee.
us. Oh, is there a bee? I'll try to show it. There's the bee that Tracy pointed out. This echinacea plant actually moved with us from when we lived in town. I'm surprised that it survived because we moved it to your mom's, and then I planted it by the garden there, and it like was barely alive all year last year. And then this year I was able to find it along with like 3 strawberry plants that I had also planted up there, and there was a couple asparagus plants that I had planted up there by the garden. And all of those things survived. We planted like 30 strawberry plants, and only 3 survived. That's how bad of a year it was last year for us growing stuff. So we had to, do a lot of work to get everything revived here. But yeah, so that echinacea plant, I started it from seed a couple years ago when we still lived in town. And the last year that we gardened there was the first year that it had bloomed. And so it's kind of nice to be able to take something that, a perennial that you start from seed. It's kind of nice to be able to carry it to your forever home when you started it at a home that you thought was going to be your forever home till your passions changed and grew deeper. But anyways, so that's about all that's been going on with us. It's just been crazy massive amounts of bread selling and making, and trying to find different opportunities for us to make an income throughout the wintertime. We are looking into potentially doing some retail stuff to potentially get our bread into stores. But honestly, I don't know how that will work until we're done with market season or winding down, because it's just right now it feels like we're barely keeping like our heads above water, and like it's kind of insane how busy we are. And like normally Tracy does some more talking on videos, but she's really super tired, just like I am. This is actually
I don't know how people do 6, 7 markets a week.
I don't either.
Like, I don't have the energy to do it.
Yeah, maybe they're just different than us. I don't know, because like different people have asked us to start doing markets on Tuesday, like and stuff. Like we've been sought out by other farmers markets to do more markets and to try to do more, to earn more of an income, and just to do more. And I'm like, there's not enough hours in the day. Like we can't, like, because doing the animal chores every day, it takes an hour and a half with like total time
In the morning.
No, I'm saying with both of us doing it, it takes, evening and morning combined, it's at least an hour and a half.
Yeah.
To do the animals and stuff. But on days that like there's market days, I can't help Tracy because I have to do stuff with bread.
So in the morning, it takes me over an hour to do
the animals just in the morning.
Yes.
And stuff. So it doubles the time and stuff. And I know that like when Tracy was working still, all the animal chores, that was all on me. We didn't have quite as many animals as we do now, but it was still, pretty comparable time-wise as to how long it took. So there's a lot involved in having a homestead and having a functional farm, not just one that, you're like, oh yeah, I'm a farm because I make bread. And we're not like that. Like, we have so many other irons in the fire that it's insanity. So we definitely, like, I've caught myself dreaming about wintertime and how nice it's going to be to just be able to slow down. And like, whenever I start doing that, I know that I'm overloaded myself, because like winter is actually one of my favorite seasons, even though I don't do well in the cold. But I love wintertime, the layering up and the amounts of creativity you have time for, and so I love wintertime. But yeah, so we definitely are way overloaded, overstressed, overburdened right now. We did get the camper officially sold. Like, camper's gone. We watched it be hauled away. Like, it's not coming back. Like, it is for sure gone. Done deal. Somebody else has it now. So that is a huge, huge burden off of our shoulders. So now we are actively working on trying to figure out everything that we need for the house. And we have crossed the bridge into looking at doing solar as a potential thing, because we use a very small amount of electricity every month, and we pay more in fees than we pay in actual electricity, because the electric company gives us a gazillion fees just to have service. So it's kind of a bummer, because if there wasn't all them fees, there's like extra fees. Like, it's not like there's just the service fee. There's fees there's a hummingbird on top of that zinnia.
Oh yeah.
There's no way I'll be able to catch it on camera, but there was a hummingbird just getting nectar from.
It looks
from one
like
of
the
zinnias.
leaves of the plant.
Yeah, Yeah, it was hard for me to see it with my naked eye. There's no way I could chase it down with a camera.
Our electric company charges a fee just to have the availability to have electricity at our house that we have to pay every month.
Plus, there's the supply
Supply
charge.
and the distribution fees.
It's ridiculous.
We also pay twice the kilowatt hour what most people do because we have a small private electric company and we have no choice as to who we have because of where we live.
Yeah, so our electric bill last month was like $100, and $60 of that was fees.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I wonder if I can get that hummingbird. I have no idea if you guys were able to see it before it moved, but there is a hummingbird on the, hitting up all of the zinnias. We have zinnias planted, intermixed. We started seeds and stuff. We just mixed them in with, the area that's of our garden that we call our perennial bed, just to add some more beauty and for pollinators and that sort of a thing. So that was really neat getting to watch the hummingbird.
Our bees really like it too.
Yes. Oh, and our bees are doing well. I actually have to build more bee boxes today, because they are ready to move on from being just in the 2 deeps. So when I was at the bee store on Friday, yeah, that was Friday. I was telling the lady about how much they've grown and all this stuff, and she's like, yeah, you probably will actually get a small amount of honey this year, which is kind of unheard of, but due to where we live at, there's so much pollen and nectar and stuff available for them. And then, we came along and, planted a bunch of, things like zinnias and echinacea and, just tons of different flowers and stuff, just because we like it. We knew it would be good for them. So yeah, there's so much that we have to do today. So yeah, that is our official, unofficial 4-month update. I would have walked around and showed you guys some of the things that we've gotten done, but there really isn't anything new that we've gotten done except for what we've mentioned and stuff, just because, it's just been normal keeping the wheels of the farm moving forward and stuff, and keeping the garden going and keeping the business going. So there's not been anything like too drastically changed. And I posted pictures on our Facebook page of the kitchen whenever I painted it. So, if you're not following us on there, you are missing out on different content. Because right now we're so busy, we don't have time to sit and do a lot of videos. But we do have time to take a picture here and there and post about it on Facebook. So if you're interested in following us on Facebook, it's also Storybrooke Family Farm. And the logo is the same for on YouTube as it is on Facebook. But yeah, so if you're enjoying our content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We greatly appreciate any of the comments and new subscribers that we get. It's nice to, have different people cheering us on, so to say, on our journey of, remaining debt-free and building something out of, shambles. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.